All right. Hey, Steve, welcome to the show and good morning to you out there on the West Coast this morning, huh?
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
Awesome. And man, what a story to talk about here. Most of the time, we'll have physicians and investors and coaches, and you kind of touch in a few of these boxes, except for the physician one. But you've probably been to the physicians a few times in your career in sports, huh?
A couple times, that's for certain.
Yeah, let's jump into it this way. Let's start with your sports career and kind of transition that into where we're at now, Steve.
Okay. Um, Grew up playing baseball, basketball, football. That was my sole focus, much to my mother's chagrin. And eventually everything just pointed in the direction of football. Went to the College of William and Mary on a football scholarship. Then I was lucky to make it with the Miami Dolphins in 1980 as a free agent. I didn't get drafted. Came into training camp with 90 people. They cut down to 45 over that 8 week period of time, and I was fortunate to make the team. Played 4 years before a knee injury ended my career. Got to play in one Super Bowl, Super Bowl 17, against the Washington Redskins. I actually got to be one of the tri-captains that day on the team. Played for Don Shula, winningest coach in NFL history. So it was a great experience, and many of the lessons that I took from the football field are part of my coaching practice today. In sports, and especially to play at that level, you have to really develop certain disciplines in how you approach life and how you approach performance. And playing for someone like Don Shula, again, he's the winningest coach in NFL history. And now that Belichick apparently retired, he may remain that, forever.
Mhm.
Because if it's not going to be Belichick, I don't know who it's going to be. And he was the winningest coach for a reason. And he prepared his teams to win every single football game. There wasn't one game that we went into where I didn't feel we were prepared to win and expected to win. We never went in as the underdog or feeling like we were the underdog. We always went in feeling we were the best team because Shula preached one thing: perfection. That was his standard. And you had to be perfect 100% of the time. And he was very clear about this. And so you knew what the consequences were of not being perfect. And everyone rose up to that standard. And when you play in an environment like that, where that is the expectation, that's what you train to every single day, it absolutely has an impact on you. And the thing about sports, that truly is team. And you learn what team is about. You learn that when you're on a team, everything you do every day impacts everyone else on the team. You're not just showing up for you and doing your thing, you're showing up for all of your teammates. And in football, where there's 11 guys on the field at any given time, everyone's expected to do their job, and your teammates are counting on you to do your job. So it's a very different environment to be part of. Top producers, most of them fit into a certain profile. One, they're smart. Two, they're very determined. They show up every single day. They show up. And again, they're disciplined in what they do. There's no one size fits all in terms of how you generate business. The thing when you get into real estate, that's the thing you have to figure out. How are you going to get clients? That's in coaching. A lot of people want to be a coach of whatever sort. What they don't understand is if you want to be a successful coach, first you have to figure out how to get a client. If you don't have no one, if you have nobody to coach, you're
Mhm.
not going to have much of a business. And so it's that ability, getting back to your question, It's the ability to attract business. That's what they have in common. And again, the thing they do every day is they show up. They show up and they have the right attitude. Everything starts with mindset. And again, that's something that you learn in professional sports. You have to learn how to play under pressure because literally, my job was on the line every day. The thing that most people don't understand, and I can only speak to football, is you could get cut any day of the week. You could lose your job any day of the week. They're always looking to upgrade. They're always looking to bring someone else in who might add to the team's roster. And so that's a pressure that you deal with every single day. And you have to learn how to play under pressure. Another big thing, and this is common with the top producers, you have to learn how to be comfortable being uncomfortable. If you're going to succeed in life, you have to do what you don't want to do. One of the things I love to say about football, I played 11 years total. There wasn't one, there was not one day that I ever wanted to go to practice, not one. And there wasn't one day I ever missed a practice. You learn that discipline. It's not about doing what you want to do. It's doing what needs to be done. And I think that lesson applies to anyone and everyone, wherever they are and whatever they're doing. If you want to be successful in what you're doing, you've got to do the things that no one else is willing to do. Mm-hmm. And it's not that you enjoy doing them. You don't want to do them either, but you have that discipline to go do it. And after 33 years, I've boiled it down to 6 standards. And those 6 standards are practicing mindfulness, optimizing time. Let's back up. Practicing mindfulness. What does that mean? I embrace what is. I embrace what is. I'm not resisting reality in any way. Optimizing time, what that means is I do what is most important. That's my standard. Every day I do what is most important. 3, cultivating relationships. I stay connected to the people I know and the people I've done business with. That's real estate. That's what real estate is. It's about staying connected. It's about relationship. 4, implementing standards. I run a checklist-driven business. I'm not running a daily fire drill. I'm not winging it. I have process for everything I do. 5, mastering communication. I've learned the skill of making people feel understood. And then the 6th standard is acting strategically. I focus on my green zone. Every real estate agent has a sweet spot in their business where 50% or more of their business is coming from. You have to know what that sweet spot is, and that's where you focus your efforts. So, one of the things that really changed for me was reading a book called The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. And that changed my whole outlook on goals and achievement. I really got clear in life. We're not in control of the outcome. We're not in control of the result. Life is going to do what life is going to do. We don't determine what happens in life. We can't manifest anything. However, what we do control is how we respond to whatever happens, how we experience whatever happens, and how we respond. And so where my coaching has evolved, I'm working with my clients every day to align their actions with these 6 standards that I just outlined. And the result is going to be the result. You're not in charge of the scoreboard. You got to show up and make the plays all day long. Mm-hmm. And that's life. The people who get into real estate don't understand this. Because again, going back to this whole philosophy of more, when you get into the business, what you're programmed is, oh, you need more contacts, you need more leads, you need more appointments, you need more listings. And if you get more, then you'll end up with sales. And what happens is you become very transactional. And you end
Or
up on
burn
a
out.
treadmill. Yeah, you end up on this treadmill where you're going nowhere. You're
Yeah.
just pedaling harder and harder and harder to do less and less and less. And it's because that you develop this, in life, human being, our nature as humans is to seek comfort, ease, and instant. That's what we all want. Comfort, ease, and instant, which does not exist. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It does not exist. And so most agents, the mistake they make is they're just thinking about where is the next deal coming from. It's what I call chasing a deal versus cultivating a relationship. Relationships compound over time. But the relationship is not going to bear fruit today. May bear fruit tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, next decade. But it's not about today. It's investing your time. And again, this is where real estate agents make a big mistake. They're not investing their time in cultivating these relationships, which will provide a steady income over time. They're chasing after a deal today. And this is what I'm coaching to every single day, cultivating relationships. And in real estate, at a minimum, it means picking up the phone every 90 days and saying hello. It's not a real estate call. It's a human being call. I'm checking in. How are you doing? I'm not talking real estate. I'm checking in with you as a human being. And again, you don't have to want to make these calls. You have to simply make the call. And this is the key in real estate. If you really want to build, it's one of the things that we coach to, is building a repeat and referral business that is sustainable, scalable, and stress-free.